Hey everyone, Caleb with the Antique Book Collective, and today I'm answering the question, should I use eBay's promoted listings, or are promoted listings worth it, that sort of thing. So guys, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, I don't like spending money that I don't have to. However, thanks to the way that eBay is currently running things, and it's been this way for a hot minute actually, you really need to do promoted listings if you want to get sales. Now that is not to say that you have to do it in order to get any sales. I do have some listings that I have that are basically no margin whatsoever that I make profit on that I don't do promoted listings on because I don't care if they sell because I don't make money on it. But for most of the books that I actually make money on, I do promoted listings. I make sure that I do promoted listings. 99.999% of the time where I'm doing books, I am doing promoted listings. The only ones that I currently am not doing promoted listings on are the DVDs that I've mentioned in other videos, guys. I'm not too worried about those. They are just basically background sellers that I have. Not important whatsoever, just a short little experiment for me. We'll see if I end up doing it long term. Currently, based on the results that I'm seeing, probably stinking not, but hey, you never know. But with that said though, back on to promoted listings. So as I already said, I have personally found, and a lot of other sellers have found, that you cannot get sales basically anymore to run a business and like make your life possible to do a small business of antique book selling or whatever else selling. You can't make it basically anymore without doing promoted listings. Of course, you can get along doing a promoted listing at just like a 2% ad rate. I think 2% is the bottom you can go. For me, I personally do between 5 to 9% depending on the different things that I do. Normally I just stick with whatever eBay recommends, or sometimes I'll raise it, sometimes I'll lower it, that sort of thing. Basically depends on the margin I have on those books, but honestly most of the books that I can do, I can actually deal and still make money with maybe even a 50% promoted listing rate, which I don't think I will ever do, but it is something that is nice for me to think about that I can do. But again, most sellers have said that you cannot get along without doing promoted listings. However, again, it's not necessarily always something you have to do, because there are some instances where you are the only seller selling something, or there's like 3 other ones and it doesn't really matter if you're promoted or not. So it could be a nice way to keep some money in your pocket. I mean, think about it. If you can go between keeping that 5% or spending that 5% can make or break someone's business. Of course, if you are doing the reselling thing like I am personally doing, and you're buying a book, say, for $1 and selling it for $30, let's face it, guys, 5% really does not matter. But there's a lot of people who they're buying, say, a toolkit from Walmart to sell online for eBay. 5% can make or break their business. 5% is like, oh, I actually am making some money off of this. This is really cool. So it really depends on you guys' business, what kind of margins you have, all that sort of stuff. But for me, I personally find that I have to do promoted listings if I want to get good, consistent sales. And in addition to that, guys, antique books, as I already said, I do. These things, guys, so many of them are so long tail of keywords, all that sort of stuff. So many of them sit on my shelves for so long. I don't think I would get a sale for a lot of these things if it was not for promoted listings. Because promoted listings, it's fine and dandy if you're selling a comb made by some comb company, because you're getting to the top of that list because you're a comb. But for these antique books, guys, let's face it, what are the odds of someone looking up this specific book from this specific year by this specific author? It's pretty low. By doing promoted listings, it actually lets my book show up to some more buyers that are not looking up my specific thing, but are looking up tangential words or tangential listings. Man, I'm struggling with that word today. But by doing promoted listings, it lets my books show up to more people, and as such, it really helps me out. It's not just me getting to the top of the list, but it's actually me showing up on lists, because there's a lot of lists I'm not going to show up on, except for FBI lists, cough, I'm kidding, but I'm not going to show up on a lot of different listings for these things, because so many of these things are such niche subjects. No one's going to look up so many of these things, so promoted listings definitely does help me show up on these sorts of things. So with that said and done though, guys, I hope this is helpful. I hope it got you guys thinking a little bit more about promoted listings. If it did not, I'm sorry. Please be sure to ask whatever comments or questions you have about promoted listings below. I'm not an eBay expert about all things, but I can definitely help out, probably, I hope, and if nothing else, I'm sure someone else is willing to comment. In addition to that, I do have a Facebook community page linked down below that you guys can actually hop onto, and you guys can chat with the other resellers that watch this channel and have joined that page, because end of the day, we do need some help from other people. And let's face it, little old Caleb right here, I'm not the smartest man in the whole wide universe, believe it or not. And I don't know everything, because believe it or not, a guy that's 24 hasn't experienced all of life. Wow. So with that said, though, guys, be sure to check out that group as well. So with that said and done, though, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out one of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.